Two people, same age, 25. Same job, same paycheck, same excuse. I'll start investing when I actually have money. One of them ignores the excuse and puts away $50 a month, just 50. The other waits until they feel ready. 40 years later, the one who started with $50 has about $316,000. And here's the part that should bother you. They didn't get there by being rich or smart or lucky. They got there by being early. The person who waited will spend the next 40 years putting in far more every month, just trying to catch up. Same market, same fund. The only difference was when they started. So let's actually watch it happen, not a calculator screen, your life. I'm going to walk you through what $50 a month really looks like year by year. Year 1, year 5, the year it quietly starts working harder than you do, and year 40 when the real number shows up. I'll show you the honest version too, adjusted for inflation, because I'm not here to sell you a fantasy. And near the end, that twist about waiting. Because the most expensive thing you can do with money this small isn't spending it. It's telling yourself it's too small to matter. $50, let's run it. Year 1 is where almost everyone quits. You put in $50 a month. 12 months later, you've contributed $600 and your account is worth about $630. $30 of growth. After a whole year, $30, that's a pizza. This is the moment the little voice shows up and says, see, this is pointless. $50 a month isn't going to change your life. And the voice is right about one thing. $50 this year did almost nothing. Here's what it's wrong about. You're not investing for this year. You're building the one thing that actually makes investing work, and it isn't money. It's time. Think of it like planting a tree. Year 1, it's a stick in the dirt. You don't dig it up because it isn't shade yet. You leave it alone because you know what it's going to become. The people who win at this aren't the ones who pick the perfect fund. They're the ones who are boring on purpose. Same $50, same fund every single month while nothing seems to be happening, because something is happening. It's just too small to see yet. So what is the 50 going into? For most people, the simple answer is a low-cost index fund that holds the whole US market, something like an S&P 500 fund. One purchase 500 companies, fees so low they round to nothing. You're not betting on a stock, you're buying the whole board. Fast forward to year 5. You've put in $3,000 of your own money, $50 at a time. Your account is worth around $3,900, so now the market has handed you an extra $900 for doing nothing but not flinching. Still not life-changing, but notice what changed. In year 1, growth gave you $30. This year, growth added a few hundred. The number is starting to move on its own. This is the part of the story nobody makes a video about because it's not dramatic. There's no big moment. You barely feel the 50 leaving your account anymore. It's just a line item humming along in the background while you live your life. And that's exactly why it works. You're not white-knuckling a budget. You're not checking the app every day. You set it once and it just runs. Here's a question worth sitting with. What if somewhere in these quiet years you'd bumped it from 50 to 100? You wouldn't feel it much today. But future, you watching the same story play out would feel it a lot. Hold that thought because the ending is going to make it very real. For now, 5 years in, you've got almost $4,000 you never really missed, and the machine is just getting warmed up. Because there's a specific year coming where this whole thing flips, and the market starts doing more of the work than you are. That year comes sooner than you'd think. Around year 8, here's what happens. Every year you add $600 of your own money, and every year the market grows what you've already got. In the early years, your 600 is the big contributor, but your balance keeps climbing and 10% of a bigger balance is a bigger number. Around year 8, they cross. For the first time, the market adds more to your account in a single year than you do. Your money is now out-turning you. Let that land. You are still putting in the same $50 you started with, but the account has crossed a line, and from here on, the growth is mostly the growth growing. This is compounding, and this is the exact moment it stops being a word in a video and starts being real money in your account. By year 10, you've personally contributed $6,000. The account is worth around $10,000. The market has now given you more than half of everything in there, and it accelerates, because next year it's growing an even bigger pile. The rich get richer thing everyone complains about. This is the version anybody can opt into. It doesn't care how much you make. It cares how long you stay in. This is why starting matters more than the amount. A small seed that's been compounding for a decade beats a big seed you just planted. The early years feel useless precisely because they're the ones doing the quiet, invisible work that every later year is built on. Now let's jump ahead and see where this actually ends up. Year 40, you're 65. Let's open the account. Over those 40 years, you put in $50 a month. Add that all up and it's about $24,000 of your own money. Total, less than the price of a decent car spread across 4 decades. The balance, around $316,000. You contributed $24,000. The market handed you the other $292. You didn't earn that by working more. You earned it by starting and then getting out of the way. Now the honest part, because trust is the whole point here. That 316,000 is in future dollars, and future dollars buy less thanks to inflation. In today's spending power, it's more like 130,000, still real. Still life-changing for someone who thought 50 a month was pointless, just not a private jet. And I used a 10% average return, which is roughly what the US market has done over the long run. Some decades are better, some are brutal, and it never moves in a straight line. This is the historical average, not a promise, but sit with the shape of it. $24,000 in, 130,000 of real value out, from the amount you were about to decide wasn't worth it. So if $50 does that, you already know the question in your head. What did waiting cost the person who started 10 years late? That's next, and the number is worse than you'd guess. Back to our two people, same market, same fund. One started at $25 with $50 a month. The other kept waiting for the right time and finally started at $35. The late starter isn't lazy. They earn more now, so they invest more. Let's say they put in $135 a month, almost 3 times what the early starter ever put in, who ends up ahead at $65, not the one who put in more. The early starter, still on their $50 a month, finishes with about $316,000. The late starter, putting in nearly triple that every month, finishes around $305,000. Close, but behind. Now look at what each of them actually paid in. The early starter contributed about $24,000 of their own money, total. The late starter contributed nearly $50,000, so the person who waited put in twice as much of their own money and still came up short. That gap is the cost of waiting, not a penalty on a statement. Just 10 years of compounding the late starter can never buy back, no matter how much they throw at it later. Time is the one ingredient money can't replace. This is the whole reason "I'll start when I earn more" is such an expensive sentence. When you earn more, you'll be starting your tree from a stick, while the person who started at 50 already has a decade of roots. So the takeaway isn't $50 is magic. $50 isn't magic, 40 years is. The 50 is just your ticket to start the clock, and the clock is the only part you can't get back. So here's the whole story in one breath. Year 1, $50 feels pointless and $30 of growth almost makes you quit. Year 5, it's quietly humming and you don't miss the money. Around year 8, the market starts adding more than you do. In year 40, $24,000 of your own money has turned into 6 figures of real spendable value. None of it required being rich. It required starting, and then being patient enough to let boring do its job. You don't need $50 to be the number, by the way. 10 works. 100 works better. The amount sets the size of the result. Starting today sets whether the result exists at all. And the honest truth is, willpower is a terrible way to invest $50 a month for 40 years. Nobody remembers to do it every month for 4 decades. The people who actually pull this off don't rely on discipline. They set it up once so it happens automatically, whether they think about it or not. That's the next video, how to set up automatic investing so the 50 leaves every month on its own, and future, you gets rich without needing present, you to remember. I'll see you there.